listens to a podcast that's been described as
emotional
and
terrifying.
one guy even said it was
So awesome it will shock you to the core.
finally another podcast about Godzilla and all his giant monster friends.
This could be the end of civilization.
Yeah, probably. So join your hosts, KES and Slick.
Ladies and gentlemen,
You're listening to the podcast. From Odo Island. Welcome to the podcast from Odo Island. Follow us on Twitter at Odo Island Pod. I am KES, and with me as always is a man who complains about tuition forgiveness but got his PPP loan forgiven. Slick, how you doing today?
That's 1,000% not true. 1,000% not true. I fully support loan forgiveness. It should in fact be more than just that. That's don't besmirch my reputation.
I'm making some jokes for the internet. You know how I do.
I'm a good liberal boy.
But that's not all who we have here today. Slick, since I always introduce you, why don't you introduce our guests?
Yes, this is a special edition of the podcast. It is the podcast from Octo Island today, because while we originally were going to be discussing Super Nintendo and Super Famicom Godzilla games, we said, fuck that. We're going to do another special Battle Line episode, and we have a little bit of an esteemed panel returning again for, this will be the third time, right, is our good friend and yours, ShinRobjira, and we'll say the governor of Octo Island, the returning YouTuber, premier Battleline YouTuber, SirMelee is back. Welcome back to the both of you.
oh, I love it. Thank you. Thank you for asking me on. I was waiting for the callback. I said, I know he's itching to get me back on there, but I won't tell him that.
Rob, always a pleasure to have you back as well.
Always a pleasure to be back, friends. Always, always. You know, I'm always
Where's
up
that
for it.
ShinRobjira? He tried to fuck on me.
You missed you actually missed a real good one of those before you jumped on Discord. You missed a real good one of those.
You did.
So this is a little bit unique. This is another Battle Line episode. This will be, we're going to go over the debut of Giant Octopus, but also Rob and KES have become new Battle Line players. So we're going to be getting their perspective on what it's like to be a new Godzilla Battle Line player, their impressions as a new player, Melee and I as veteran players, like where we think the game is at, how we kind of feel about some recent changes. So it's going to be quite a daisy of a discussion, I would say. So I think before we jump into the first topic, we have recapped Battle Line before, but Rob, maybe from the first new player perspective, in 2 sentences, what is Godzilla Battle Line as a game?
Fuck off, you can't have my money.
All right. KES, what in your 2 sentences, what is Godzilla Battle Line as a game?
This is Godzilla Battle Line on the Intellivision Amico.
All right. So
It's a mobile game,
the
is what I was
catalyst
saying.
for us being so the catalyst for us being here is that just to kind of set the table a little bit, there was a fan vote a couple months back where Battle Line players could go on Twitter. You could vote for basically the entire Toho roster, and the Battle Line developers said essentially the top vote getters will make their way into the game as playable characters. I think they anticipated that Shin Godzilla was going to win that because they had Shin Godzilla ready to go before the actual winner was ready to go, which was Destroya was the actual winner. Followed up by Shin Godzilla. It's in second place. but third place was the giant octopus.
Let's go, baby! Giant octopus!
so
we made it. We out. We here. Thank you.
So we will call this we'll call this section Melee and the Octopus. And Melee, why don't you take us through the campaign, give us an overview of this grassroots movement that led us to all being here today.
All I'm saying is there's a few, politicians or maybe government agencies that would like my help on how to rig an election because I nailed it, bro. I killed it. All right, so basically the first let me walk.
Are you saying the votes were not
election.
legitimate? Are you saying on this podcast the votes were not legitimate?
Giant Octopus already in the game. There's definitely botting going on. Not for me. Nor did I endorse it in the Discord, but I did get word that someone or some group of people may have added a few extra votes to the count. Don't know who they are.
Well, that was...
Don't know which accounts are the bots. But I know that... I know for certain that it was not enough that it would have swayed the election. Because a vast majority of the votes for Giant Octopus weren't even English votes. The first time that Giant Octopus came through was a vast majority English votes, because I was like, I was maybe on YouTube for like 3 months. So I had 500 or less subscribers, and I was really pushing for Giant Octopus, and I made the argument, I made a campaign video for him, saying like, hey, we've gotten now, since the game launched, like 3 Godzillas. There's a bunch of already flying units. We're on our second Mothra. We have like 4 Godzillas. Like, let's get some more diversity. And the original vote poll had like 7 or 8 Godzillas out of the 19 or 18 total possible characters. Like a ridiculous amount of Godzillas on there. So like, it's a Godzilla game. Obviously, the Godzillas are going to be added to the game. Let's get some monsters on this poll that are not going to be added either ever or in a very long time. So we were pushing for like Baragon, Varin, Megalon wasn't on the first one, like Gorosaurus maybe. There was a bunch like C-listers or D-listers that people were really pushing for. On the list at like I think it was number 3 actually on the original poll was Giant Octopus, and I was like, this is perfect. I was like, this is a prime suspect. I was like, at the moment, Bylante is very, very powerful. This was pre her nerfs and everything. She was rocking the meta, and I was like, it's hard to get the 4-star pieces. Giant Octopus could be like a budget Bylante, right? That was the hope. And at the time that the first vote had gone live, only 4-star monsters had been added to the game. And for context, when we're recording this podcast, Giant Octopus remains the only post-launch bronze unit to have come to the game after over a year, right? So this was before we had Super X, this was before we had Dorats. They were not in the game. Wow. So we had only gotten 4-star units. So there was no way in hell Toho was going to make Giant Octopus a 4-star unit, right? So that was the original driving push. So we made pretty big waves the first go-around, but we didn't succeed. And we were on Twitter, we were posting like campaign pictures, buttons, like I voted for Giant Octopus, like really like going hard, right? And when
I think Varan did a better push, I think, the first time around, because I was using the limited power of the Odo Island podcast Twitter to really push hard for Varan. I remember in the first poll, Varan did a lot better.
He got 6th place.
I think Varan finished...
He got
6th was the second time. I think Varan was higher the first time, I thought.
The first time he got 6th place. Any higher and he would have been in the game already. He got 6th place. And then, Giant Octopus tied Ebra for 7th place. For 7th place.
You're right.
And this,
but then I got very fixated on the Bandai Movie Monster series poll that was like literally running at the same time.
And he won that one.
Our boy Varan won. He won on a...
I voted for Varan.
Rob is nodding in approval. That's fantastic.
Absolutely, because we don't need another Vinyl Mecha Godzilla.
Agreed.
So, and that was before... I didn't even have 600 subscribers. I got a few subscribers from, making the big push for the Octopus. But on the live stream where Toho revealed the poll winners, they had made a joke saying like, "Oh, we didn't think the Giant Octopus would get this far." And in the translated text of that stream, you could see they were saying like, oh, like he would like he's on there like fill the roster. Like we didn't think anyone was gonna pick him, but like who knows? Maybe in the next time we'll put him back. Sure as shit, a year later they put him back on the poll. Like I know, like they knew what they were doing, right? They're like they had Mechagodzilla 74, Final Wars Godzilla, Monster X, Destroya, Shin Godzilla, Giant Octopus, and now when the second poll came out, I was just about to crack 2,000 subscribers. Like, oh, I got like way more pull than I did before. So I didn't even push it that hard. I didn't make a second campaign video. I just updated the campaign poster with the hashtag, and I started blasting it out there, putting it in my Discord. At this time, it had taken on like its own separate life as a meme. Like I have Octopus King as my title in the Discord. Like so much stuff.
I think you pushed hard. I think you pushed hard.
I pushed hard the second time in the Discord.
You took a grassroots tact.
Yeah,
you took a grassroots tact.
I was
you were. So I was about to make a political joke that I'm not going to make, but you took a much more grassroots approach.
Yes.
So you took a much more grassroots approach the second time around, and apparently you got help from Russia. Apparently, the second time around, which I just learned about on this podcast.
So the second vote, there was people botting, but when we went to go count the votes, so I was daily counting the votes to make sure we were in the lead, and there was other people in my Discord as well. What we had discovered is we would count the English votes first, because they had two posts that you could retweet, an English one and a Japanese one. So we would just basically count it as like, this is the Western votes, these are the Eastern votes, let's tally them up. Giant Octopus was doing okay in the English votes, and that's where I thought he would excel, because I am English speaking, I make content in English, so I thought maybe my English-speaking audience would be putting him up. But the Japanese went crazy, bro. They shot him up like 130 points overnight. And they're like, yeah, you know what? We didn't vote for him the first time. Our guy got in. Let's just vote for him. Literally was like, it seemed like the mentality from what people were telling me, because the first time around, Kiryu was not in the top 5 in the English votes, but the Japanese propelled him to number 1. They did pretty much the same thing to Giant Octopus and Destroya. So in the top 3 of the second vote poll, in part of my grassroots tactics in the Discord, shout out to the Discord, and then the Japanese, we got Giant Octopus in the game. So now there's official artwork. I don't remember what the artist's name is. He's the Heisei kaiju artist, Shinji Nakamura? I don't know his name.
Not Nakamura.
I don't know. I don't remember his name, and I don't mean to mispronounce
Shinji.
It.
Shinji. It's Shinji. Damn. I follow him.
I don't remember. I do too. I don't. His nickname is Smash or Mash or something like that. I don't remember his name, so I'm not even going to pretend like I know it. So I'm not going to.
Shinji Ishikawa.
Yes.
I think that's it.
Shinji Ishikawa.
So now there is official art by him of Destroya with Shin Godzilla and Giant Octopus. The top 3.
That's the best.
It is so funny, and it's on stickers, and it's gonna probably be on shirts or something, or posters. Like, it is hilarious. It has become like a total inside joke with like my family, because they know I make the content, and I've been telling them about the octopus thing. So like every time that like they see me on the game, like, how's that octopus coming? Like that's like the main association. Like, did you get it, son? Are you winning?
Why does a giant octopus have a name?
His name is
the devil. It's the devilfish in Frankenstein versus Baragon. It's the devilfish. I think you can also like Diodaku, but yeah, they adopted to just use giant octopus. Which in my headcanon, I go giant octopus, and I think they actually use clips just from King Kong versus Godzilla. Then I go, okay, this is not the devilfish from Frankenstein Conquers the World or War of the Gargantuas. In my personal headcanon. It's the so I feel like this leaves room to get
for
the
a
devilfish.
Second octopus.
Right. And that could be like that could be a silver or a gold star unit. And I think instead of maybe a slow effect, maybe it's a stun and drag effect. But I mean, we can talk about that later offline. But
I would like to see it maybe just end the game when you place it, like Exodia. That would be sick.
Just a screen nuke.
Yeah, but that poster is, I think, like that. Like when I saw that, I like full disclosure, like my wife and I were at a bar the night that poster came out, and I said, dear, this YouTuber that has done our show about this Godzilla mobile game that you don't care about, but she has said, I can tell when you're playing it. She's like, I can tell when you're playing it because I just hear all those roars coming from your phone for about 45 minutes straight. And I go, like, he has literally created official merchandise with a giant octopus on it. Now, she was not as moved by that as I was, but I thought that was just... I just said, we gotta document this in the podcast.
I said one way or another, I'm getting on the Godzilla wiki, and by damn, I did it.
See, that's great.
You made it to Wikizilla?
Not in name, although I believe Wikizilla links to my Google Doc that tracks all the stats of all the characters, so go check that out. But
okay,
they have in their trivia that the Giant Octopus is in their trivia section. I don't remember exactly what it is, and then Giant Octopus's their own section also mentions the vote poll that it won. So that at least is there. My name's not there. I'm not too salty about it. Shout out Wikizilla. Those guys are super cool on Twitter and posting my stuff, but like, I think it's hilarious, bro. It is so funny. It is so much funnier post Octopus being in the game than it ever was pre Octopus, in my opinion.
So I want to. The unit we'll discuss later, but we should also note. So right now, full disclosure, we're recording this on a Thursday. There is a Battle Line Summit coming out on Sunday.
Can I say something?
This episode is going to drop on Monday.
Can I say something about the summit? They picked the stupidest days to drop these summits, man. They're doing a 6 a.m. on a Monday. Why?
Well, that's not for us. That's not for us.
I know, but like they've done it on Fridays and Saturdays. They did one on a Sunday. They're just moving through the week at this point. Now it's on a Monday for me, and I'm like, oh my god, I gotta get on the stream. I gotta watch this thing. I gotta make content, and then I gotta go to work.
You can always watch
it's a heavy
it's my cross
it's a
to
heavy
bear.
cross you bear being the premier Battle Line YouTuber. But before we move on to the next topic, which is going to be about what it's like for new players, I think we gotta close really quick with what other piece of merchandise is coming out, and perhaps as of this recording, we will learn that my sweet diorama submission to the contest has led to me having what is, I think we can say, is the first official Battle Line figure, right?
Well,
it's the giant octopus figure, or an ornament, or something.
We don't know if it is specifically for Battle Line, because there's no mention of it being specifically for Battle Line. We just know that it is a giant octopus ornament, vinyl ornament, coming out around the same time that the giant octopus is in Battle Line. Theoretically the same time that the Battle Line merch is coming out. Plus the ornament has it with the pots of like the red juice from Kong and Godzilla. So that's not in Battle Line. So it very well could be a coincidence, but also again, very much is brand synergy.
They use that clip of the giant octopus going over the pots.
That's valid.
In the game.
I didn't consider.
So
I think it counts.
I think I think so as well, and I think and I am totally expecting to be one of the 8 winners because my diorama submission was sick. I have reviewed every other diorama submission. I think my Space Godzilla mid-charge looming over a basketball court titled Hoop Dreams is that should be one of the top 8. I mean, that's just what it is.
We'll have to circle back when you win.
I liked how we were talking about this. I was like, I'm going to win this just so I could take this figurine and burn it. And then I just posted like the shittiest possible diorama for you. like I don't even have like buildings on one side. I'm just like, nope, it's just a picture of Mothra just flying in place. It's just garbage.
It's a picture of Tewksbury with Mothra over it. Just kidding. In case one of our listeners lives in Tewksbury, but he doesn't listen. But anyway, so I think that will kind of be like our normal setting the table segment, because now, again, we have KES and Rob who played this game for the first time, And, I really think the meat of this conversation should really be, what were your impressions? Walk us through your experiences as new players.
Rob, you're the guest. You should go first.
Okay. So, full disclosure, I had downloaded this when it first came out, and I played for maybe 15 minutes, and I was like, nah, I'm good. Deleted it. But upon re-downloading it last week, I think, I don't even remember, I get it now. Like, I fully get what's fun, what's addictive about it, because I put that thing on, I can't put it down. I got other things going on, I got other games I want to play, and I just end up playing that until 12 o'clock at night with burn marks on my face from my phone screen. But it's...
Can I ask, are you a mobile gamer at all?
No, not at all. Okay. Back in the day with Angry Birds, when that was at its height, yeah. But now, not so much. So this has been...
No gacha games in your life, anything like that? This is like a new experience to you. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
This is wholly new. And again, I get it. Like, getting units, going on expeditions, battling other players. I was waxing ass earlier. It felt great. And I don't know, man. Like, the fact that this, like, it's weird because, like, mobile Godzilla games have kind of been coming out pretty frequently the last year or two or whatever. I mean, we had that one that kind of died very quickly, and then the slew of these ones came out, and now Battle Line's, like, the top, right? Like, I don't think half of the other ones that came out are even still active.
Yeah. Oh.
And
Defense
I think...
Force
yeah,
got
so there was...
What was it?
Yeah,
Defense
Force and Run... and yeah, Defense Force and Run Godzilla still somehow live and exist, whereas, like, Godzilla Destruction, which was actually pretty good, like, has already come and died. And
Which
there were...
crazy.
I thought there were actually... I thought the Smash 3 game that came out to promote Godzilla 2014 was actually really good. But, like, you can actually... Like, if you have an Android device, you can, like, actually still download that and still play that if you just gotta do some sleuthing.
Yeah.
But, and then there was also kind of like a Gashapon or a Gacha-style game that was only in the Japanese version of the App Store, which was pretty good, but it was more...
It's a great game.
It was not
Godzilla.
as deep as this. Yeah, it was good. It was okay. So that's the kind of the context to that. But did you find, Rob, that this was... As this being your first real kind of like, I guess, mobile gaming experience, do you think it's... Do you find it accessible? Do you think it's fun? It sounds like you think it's fun, but like...
I think it's very fun. Like, at first, when they're dropping everything on you, what to do, how to do it, it can be like a little like, oh, this is a little much, but the more you play, the more you talk to people that play, or just the more that you mess around with it, it's almost like second nature. You check your rewards or your achievements and everything, you get your coins, your gems, all this other stuff. It's really not as much of an undertaking as it may seem when you first boot the game up. And I don't know, I'm one of those people where it's like, if you toss way too much information at me, you're going to overexert my tiny, tiny little marble brain, and it's just not going to end well. But with this, I mean, I don't know how it took me so long, because the community for it is huge. Like, I didn't directly follow anything Battle Line until I downloaded the app and caught the bug for it. And now, like, hearing about Melee over here with giant friggin' octopus and getting them into the game and everything, it's crazy. Like, even away from the game, it's crazy that so many people came together to get giant octopus into the game. Honestly, I hope that energy spills on over into the Movie Monster series. Give me giant octopus as a vinyl, please. I'll do it.
Send me in the right direction. I'll get him there.
bro.
I'll say there was a joke I made to Melee at one point. I said now it's very apparent that the Varan party is not going to win this race, so the Varan party will merge with the giant octopus party. And I think that's what we have to keep that energy as we go forward.
And we both came out on top, though.
These figure...
We
exactly.
both came out on top. Varan won. Mechagodzilla's in the shitter, yeah, and we have giant octopus with an ornament on the way. Like, honestly, that's great. I can't wait. And
let the audio record show that this is an audio podcast, but Rob just flipped the bird to Mechagodzilla as he said that, so that was quite funny. That
I did. Don't get me wrong, Super Mechagodzilla as a vinyl would be cool, but fuck off, Varan. He's never had one. Anyway.
Exactly.
Godzilla Battle Line, it's got my blessing. I'm going to be playing it for however freaking long. I'll be taking place in the next vote. You guys tell me who we're freaking voting for, and I'll match your energy with that. It's fun. It's fun, and it should be on Switch, honestly. Battle Line on Switch.
Whoa.
Yo, doing a touch screen and everything, bro. Yo, Toho, get off Sony's wiener and get on Nintendo's side. Throw that shit onto Nintendo Switch, and I promise you'll be doing great. You'll be doing fantastic.
Well, it is coming to
PC
in ways it is coming to PC in ways that need to be seen, but we don't know what that PC game is going to look like. But now, KES, it's time to put the spotlight on you. I feel like I went on a roller coaster with you on over the last 2 weeks on this game. It was a journey. It was a journey.
I'm just sticking around, like talking to you, like talking smack, like one of the things I do in like chats is sometimes I'll be either overly excited about something or overly down on something. And it won't reflect like my real feelings on the thing. I'll just like go all in or I'll be all out on it. So like I went in peaks and valleys with you. So when I first started off, I was just like, all right, so pretty cool, you know, I've got Rodan, I've got Anguirus, I've got Godzilla 89. Pretty cool way to start the game. And then I just kept playing. I was like, all right, cool. So I've got Rodan, Anguirus, Godzilla 89. All right. Come on. Let's see. And it went like that for maybe like 2 days where I pretty much couldn't download anything or get anything good. And then I got like Giant Octopus and
let's
like,
go.
Rats. Like, so I was just like, okay, I got Giant Octopus, so I put him in the game. Like, I was like, why don't you have a name like everything else? But, all right, whatever. But as I kept playing, I realized I was like, okay, so I started off and I beat all, like, the terrible wiener people who play and they're bad at the game. And then I graduated on to, like, better people.
Turbo wiener! Turbo wiener!
Well, I said terrible wieners. Turbo wieners is
I thought you said turbo wiener.
Slick and I are in the turbo wiener area.
Yeah, they're wieners. They're terrible at the game. So I graduated and started playing like real players. And like, so I've still got like, you know, bronze level monsters with Godzilla, Rodan, and Anguirus. And I'm going against people who have like Shin Godzilla, like Fire Rodan, Desghidorah, and I'm like, well, I'm losing in like 15 seconds now. Like, this isn't very fun. And so, like, that went on for a while, and then I just kept on like doing exhibition. What do you call them? Extra. What do we call them? I'm blanking on the name.
When you turbo ween? No, when you open the expeditions?
Expeditions, thank you. I don't know why I blanked on that word.
Yeah, okay.
So I was doing expeditions and you know, wasn't getting anything. I realized I was like, okay, I'm getting the same power-ups over and over and over and over again. I'm not unlocking anything. And they're not getting my fucking money. I'm doing a free-to-play trial of this. And so, like, I realized pretty quickly, I was like, okay, they paywalled this game. Like, you give them your $5.49 or you eat shit in this game. And I made my peace with them. So I kept on playing, and I don't play it as much as you guys, clearly, because I'll play it for like 15, 20 minutes a day, and I'll be like, okay, I got my fill.
But I think there was a turning point for you, though. I think there was a turning point. I think that's what
I realized you could do like bot games in the free play area, and so one of the fun. So when I started having fun was when I was like, okay, I'm gonna make the shittiest deck I could possibly make, and it was like Mothra is my leader and nothing but weapons. Like no other monsters. Mothra is my only monster, and I go up against like the bot that's like at my level, and like those are like fun, like close matches. So I was like, all right, this is pretty fun. I'll just do this for a little while, and I wasn't getting anywhere. I was just having fun. And then the other thing I did was like, okay, I'll make the shittiest monsters I could possibly have. And so I had like nothing but like the Dorats and the Kamacuras and Giant Octopus, of course, and Minula. So like nothing but shitty monsters at that point. And so I was like, okay, this is pretty fun when you play it like this. And then I went back to the ranked matches, and finally I got Kiryu by this point. I think it was like day 3. And that is when the game turned around for me. I was like, okay, Kiryu as my leader, and then I have like the nuclear launcher as like a 1-2 punch to finish off people.
The stealth bomber.
Yes.
So you do the unconventional combo. You do Kiryu and the stealth bomber, where most people at that stage do Kiryu and the missile strike. But you do the stealth bomber.
But the stealth bomber is a lot stronger. So where the missile strike, you might have to do like 2 or 3 tries if the leader is leveled up. The stealth bomber, I found, like if you get the absolute zero ray off, and then the stealth bomber right after that, that's a 1-2 punch. You just won. You could do the stealth bomber like right before you're about to fire the launcher too, but I found like it's probably better to just launch the zero beam at him first to get his energy down to 10%, and then the bomber does the rest. So I was like, okay, this is awesome. This is how I want to play the game from now on. And then like after that, I started winning matches again.
So giving the Kiryu to new players, I think happened about 4 months ago, 5 months ago, maybe.
It happened in like December or like midway through December or the very beginning of January, where they give new players Mothra and Kiryu. Dude, huge. I'm not gonna rant about it for too long, but it's really solid for new players. I like it a lot.
Exactly, right? This sounds like this was like a total course changer for KES, right? And could you imagine if like you're a newer player and you hit the absolute zero cannon and then you just see the stealth bomber like slowly flying towards you, and if you have no counter to it, like that must be like infuriating on the other end.
I would turn off my game.
I've had people beat me with Kiryu where they hit the zero cannon and then they do the train thing and they beat me that way, but that was after like I had like no energy left anyway. But I noticed that a lot of players will like pretty much go to one side or right down the middle like for everything. And so like what I like to do is I like to spread it out a little bit. I'm like the Patriots offense. I spread it out. And so like I'll just have like a wall of attackers coming from like left to right. So like on my left I'll have like Mecha King Ghidorah in the middle. Here's another thing I really like doing. I like doing the Destroyer Larva and Minula right behind them. My Minula is like super leveled up. So it's actually like they actually do a ton of damage like that. So I kind of group them together. And then on the right, I'll either have like Rodan, who's leveled up now with Angerus underneath him and stuff, or I'll just do like Mothra or something like that. But like I try to like spread it out so that way. And then if Kiryu is not your leader, he does the thing where you could just like plop him right next to the leader and just have him attack the leader for a little bit. So I like to like put Kiryu on a side where the leader can't get to him right away, or otherwise, or either way he turns to attack Kiryu, and then all my other monsters can like gang up on him from the other side. So I like to, it's sort of like a fun little strategy game now. So it wasn't so much before when I played the game for like 15 seconds and get my ass kicked. I can actually enjoy the game now.
It's great that they had the actress from Godzilla X Mechagodzilla come in to record original lines for the game. Those were all new recordings by her for the game. She promoted the game in her Godzilla X Mechagodzilla attire, like wearing like the Kiryu uniform and stuff. She was on one of the battle summits.
Seeing that at the live stream where she comes out with the suit on, everyone in my chat was going berserk. And then when she was like a voice in the game, in the moment, everyone was loving it. And now a few months later, people are like, I just mute the game. Because Kiryu will talk to you and Jet Jaguar will talk to you, and you're like, oh my god, please, for the love of God.
I always play the game unmuted because I want to listen for the audio cues of who's coming into the field, and it annoys me when I don't hear those. But for KES and Rob, so what sucks about the game as a new player? One more thing
before we get to that, I just wanted to throw this in. When Rob said that you should throw this game on the Switch, I say this is like a mini game inside of a larger Godzilla game. Like, that's how I feel about it. Like, I don't know if there's enough meat on the bone to make it like a full downloadable game for like full price. Maybe like $5-10, maybe. But like, if you make this like a mini game in a larger console game, I think that's where you could have some real fun with this, because then you can expand on it and throw like other monsters in here.
It could be like Ultimate Club in FIFA. It's like another part of the game.
God,
that's like
no.
gotcha.
Oh god, no! Oh god, no! No! Get out of here with that Ultimate Team, Ultimate Club shit. Get out of here with that. I don't want to hear that. I think there is a this is like we were just talking about Godzilla 2 last week. Like a real-time strategy Godzilla game that we did not think highly of, and I go, this is what something like this is like what you could do with like a real-time strategy game for Godzilla, but that's a whole different rant. I don't want to get sidetracked with that. But what did you guys think sucked as new players?
The RNG. The RNG in this game is garbage. I feel like the sun needs to be a certain few centimeters away from setting, and the moon needs to be like in its third trimester of like sunlight to get something worthwhile out of an expedition. I can't tell you how many Rodans, Kamacuras, Dorats, standard vehicles that I've gotten since downloading this a week ago. There's just so much, and every now and then, like, even if you were to just limit it to a day, it would be great if I could get something worth a shit. Like, it happened today, and that was cool. But other than that, I mean,
you got Destroy It. You got Destroy It today, right?
I got Destroy It today, right? Yeah. But
we'll come back to that. But
other than the RNG, the only thing that kind of gets me is just the wait time for a match. Sometimes it's really, really speedy. Sometimes it's slow. I guess it's just based on the time of day. But it's mostly just the RNG for me. That's it.
Yeah, I think matchmaking is going to become a topic for probably all four of us, but a slightly different perspective. So did you find, Rob, that you were getting matched with players that like appropriate to your where you're at currently?
Yeah. Because for like the first minute, they were all Sleepy's Magoo and weren't doing anything, and I'm just sending in tanks and Rodan.
Wieners.
Turbo Wieners, yeah. And I don't know, like, I understand they were probably waiting to let their little bar charge up so they can, like, drop heat, but it's like it wasn't working. So after that, people actually, I started getting paired with people that were actually putting stuff on the ground and getting the challenge going. So, yeah, I think, from starting at Sleepy's Magoo to going to people who are dropping helicopters and air bases and all that other stuff, I think it was a pretty good pair up, honestly. Why? Mm-hmm. Is there an issue?
I think Melee and I are going to have a different perspective when we shift over to us, but
I have a different perspective.
It's very interesting hearing you and Kess's like version of like what it's like to be like literally brand new players. Like you guys have been playing for like 2 weeks basically.
Yeah.
So did you not to kind of blow up your spot offline, but I don't think you really knew that you were supposed to be leveling up your characters until I kind of mentioned something offline.
Yeah.
And so do you? Yeah. And this is a question for you and Cass, because I feel like I had similar conversations with both of you. Like, did you find that like as a new player that like what you're supposed to do to grow your deck is well explained to you?
No, and that's mostly because I was skipping through all the pop-ups when they were coming up. I'm like, just let me play the fuck. I was being such an Aaron Hansen with this game. I don't know if that comment lands with anybody here, but I was being a huge...
that reference.
I was being a huge fucking Aaron Hansen, blaming the game for not telling me when it probably did tell me, but at the same time... it's like, yeah, I skipped through a lot, so it's probably mostly my fault. Maybe. I don't know. But you told me, you have to level them up with those coins, boy! And, yeah.
I knew to level them up. You told me to level up my Kamacuras, and I listened to you, and I did it, and now I want my coins back. Why would I ever level them up? Ever.
Keep playing, and every time you see those gold labeled Kamakars drop, your frustration will just be palatable.
My leader takes them out like that. Come on. Come on, Chris. I was there.
Did either of you really... Well, I know, Cass, I know you did. Did either of you... Rob, did you dabble with Showdown mode or Studio mode at all?
I don't think I can even use Studio mode yet.
You have to be a certain rank to use it, I think.
Oh, yeah. Do you?
Yeah. I think I'm a rank 5. And I think
you're ahead of me, and I can use it, so you could definitely use it.
Okay. Well, I'll have to check. There's a couple of things that I can't quite do or get yet, but I changed my background. I put a poster and a movie on one of my buildings.
That's exciting. That's exciting.
Of course.
Then we'll pivot then to the All-Star Battle events. What were your thoughts as new players on that?
I thought it was fun at first, but then after a while, those level 1 guys you don't have, like, they don't matter much. Like, you're just gonna get your ass kicked by a wall full of like enemies that just like after a certain point, there's like, okay, we're just gonna throw like 8 burning Godzillas and 8 heaters at you at the same time, and let's see if you can win. So like after like once it got to there, I was just kind of like, okay, it's unbalanced now. It's not quite as fun. Like when you had like Godzilla Earth versus Godzilla Earth coming, it's like, okay, this is awesome. This is what we need here. We need more of this. But when it's just like, okay, you just have a wall of 4 of enemies here and 4 enemies here. Good luck. Like it's unbalanced. It's not as fun in my opinion. So there's like a wall of fun that
Rob,
breaks. I'm gonna be honest.
I know you were just starting to play Rob right before we started. So what were your thoughts?
I don't even know. Have I done that yet? I don't even know.
Weren't you literally doing it right before we started doing this?
Is that what that was? Where I was just going up against bots?
Yes.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yes.
That was fun. It was like 4 waves, and it was awesome. Easy as hell.
Yes. Yeah. And you get access to all the monsters that you don't have yet.
I didn't get Godzilla Earth though. I got Space Godzilla. Is Space Godzilla like good all the time, or was it just because?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because Space Godzilla was a fucking.
I think I think so. Space Godzilla is a pain in the ass, but also cool if you use him right. He's a focal point of my secondary deck. He's a focal point.
Yeah, I need Space Godzilla. Yeah, that was a lot of fun just to try everybody out. I lucked out. I think I got Space Godzilla, both the Gaigans, Hedorah. It was just a lot of fun to play with all those units that I don't have yet. And yeah, I liked it.
Good.
Yeah,
all right, good. That's
liked it quite a lot.
This is good. This is a good focus group right here for Battleline.
Yeah, I do like.
Neely, what would?
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I do like how you get access to like all the monsters in there, even if you don't have them yet, and it's less of a like you don't have to set a lineup. You just have the monsters just showing up randomly, so you can try them out at least. Like, but like after you play them, like shouldn't you just be able to like have them unlocked and like access to them at that point?
Neely seems to be nodding in approval.
You'd think they would let you do something that was good for the player.
That's Bailey, your questions of our new player pool here.
So, I wanted to know what your guys' lineups in your decks were like, because I have a second mobile device that I also started a brand new account on. And it sounds like I've gotten lucky. My entire deck is 4-star monsters. I am basically just running over like bots and new players with my like free account and just shitting on them, doing my thing. But then like I have gotten to a point where like I warn so many people about it, that I have progressed too far too fast. I have flown too close to the sun. I have done so much damage that now I cannot win a match. So I wanted to know if you guys are starting to meet other players that are maybe a little too powerful for you, because a very common problem that new players reach out to me about is that they are constantly matching people that they should not be matched with.
That's why I pretty much I kind of lost interest in the ranked matches, was because I was just getting totaled in 10-15 seconds by people. Like I said, I had for the most part Godzilla, Anguirus, and Rodan. Those were the only monsters I had, and I was going up against people with nothing but monsters and good monsters. And you could tell they had better stuff because they weren't ranked civilian like I am. They had different photo icons where I have the same Godzilla 89 icon since I started, same civilian status since I started, and I'm going up against people who are just so past where I am. I had stood no chance, and so I wasn't quitting.
Do you know what your arena rank is?
I'm rank 3. That's all I know.
So rank 3. Yeah, so it's this is a problem with matchmaking, right? Melee and I we're both in the 65 tier, the top tier, and it's I still feel I play games sometimes where it's you go to play against somebody and it's you just kind of get in your usual strategy, and then all of a sudden you realize you're blowing away these people you're playing against. So you're just blowing away their units really fast and go, oh, that's somebody who's in the first 10 ranks, 15 ranks, or whatever, first 35 ranks. You just blow. When you see units Kamakuras come out, or Godzilla 89 come out, or Anguirus come out, and they're not gold text. So the gold text, if you play against anybody who has gold text for Rob and KES, that means they have leveled that unit to level 30.
Or
and
higher.
When you see those kind of or higher, yeah. When you see those kind of common units come out, and a bunch of them come out in a row, and I go, oh, none of them are gold. I just go, this means I'm playing somebody who's a really a newer player probably. And it's you always kind of go well, this kind of sucks. This is a problem with the matchmaking. Is it's why am I just steamrolling somebody who is nowhere near close to my levels, my arena rank? This is we're but at the same time, I guess I get really frustrated when I go against one of the top 3 or 4 people who and I go well, they got 4-star units that are gold, but but it's but at least I get it because we worked our way up there. But it's why am I getting matched? Why am I having matches against people who are KES's level?
It's also different for us because we started
exactly
at the beginning, so we moved up gradually as the game was growing. We were going with the game, and now coming in, I'm seeing all these new players getting just routinely destroyed, and it looks so demotivating.
Yeah, exactly. I see people who rage quit. You can tell when someone rage quits because you get the 30-second countdown. When someone disconnected, you just sit there and I almost wish there was a true chat feature, although that'd be the worst thing for this fucking game because the stickers are toxic enough. But
I wish great battle for close matches. I think the stickers are fine.
I wish there was a friendly quit. If you knew instantly you were playing against no, there's a give up.
Yeah,
there's not.
That's what I mean.
No, but I mean Yeah, no, but I mean, in how I hate to actually give Madden props or anything, but in Madden, when you play online, there's a friendly quit where if you both agree to quit, it doesn't hurt anybody's, nobody gets points, nobody loses points. Because if you lose a battle in this game, you lose experience points, and if you win, you get more. If you win, you get points. So
after a certain
I almost
point,
wish
if
I saw someone who's and it's I just wish you were all right, listen, either I'll steamroll you or let's do a friendly quit where we just go, look, this ain't gonna be fun for anybody, right? That'd be great. That'd be great for the community. I didn't even have that idea going into this podcast. I like that idea.
There's a section of the community that does that already. I know I'm in routine communication with top spenders, top players. Most of the top, I would say 70% of the top 100 is in my Discord, and they'll be if they recognize a player's name from the Discord that they know isn't gonna win, there's a good chance that they're just gonna quit. Unless they have a really good win streak going, they're just going to quit and give them the win because it's going to be one-sided. Me, I won't do that. I got too much riding on my name. All right, I'm going to take you on. If you beat me, beat me. But there's a large portion of the community that also thinks that matchmaking is a huge problem and has been taking it into their own hands to just give lower-ranked players W's. Like on my free-to-play account, I don't think I have more than 150 wins. I just set it down, I throw out some units, I barely play, and I lose, and I let the other like lower players get rewards, get the wins, because it's like such a slog. It's so difficult. So like a lot of people just give free wins, but it's because the matchmaking is just horrendous. Like it gets so bad.
Damn.
Yeah.
I have 95 wins so far. My longest winning streak was 8.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
Proud of you, bud.
Rob, as a new player, what are things you would like to see improved?
Well, I haven't run into the matchmaking issue yet. Now I'm like a little terrified.
Oh, sorry to ruin that for you.
Now I'm like a little
Spoiler
terrified.
alert.
Because I don't know, I was doing pretty good. I mean, I just lost my first match. Like, I don't have that many wins. I only have 1 loss. So, now I'm worried that's going to start plummeting. But as far as like improvements go, I mean, I guess once I run into that matchmaking issue, I'll probably just say that. But I don't know. Maybe it's because I haven't been deep into it like you and Melee have, but I don't know what I would actually change other than that problem that I'm eventually going to run into and make me toss my phone across the room. I don't know. Like, I really don't know.
The game's got good bones.
Maybe as you said, like, maybe a little bit better unit selection from the get-go.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be great. And better RNG, please.
Yes.
Because this feels unfucking fair.
The RNG kind of goes into what I think could be improved, which is like, instead of like the game telling you which pieces you get access to level up, is if you get points and you can put those points into whatever units you want to level up. So like right now, if you look at my main screen of my main deck, it's Kiryu is my leader, King Ghidorah, Anguirus at level 11, and Godzilla Ultima. And then I have Rodan at level 7, Destroy a Larva at 8, Minula at 12, and the Bomber at 12. So, like, the only pieces I really have leveled up are Minula, Anguirus, and the Bomber. Like, Rodan's level 7, Destroy a Larva level 8. But everything else, like, I scroll down, Giant Octopus, 238 of 50. Like, and he's at a level 10. Like, Kamakura is 282 of 50, and also at a level 10. Like, I'm getting the same level up pieces over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I can't level up anything but them. Meanwhile, like, expeditions are, like, useless to me at this point because I keep on getting, like, the same weaponry, like, level up power-ups, like the tanks, the Dorats, and I'm like, I hate it. Like, I hate that aspect of the game. Like, I like how in, like, Elden Rings and, like, the Souls games where you just get points and you can level up your character the way you choose. It doesn't have to be, like, this binary, like, level up your Kamakuras because that's all we're giving you. Like, let me choose. Also, like, don't paywall the game so much because, like I said, like, I have 28 of the 50 monsters available to me now after 2 weeks of playing the game for maybe like half an hour a day. Like, I feel like that could be better, Yeah,
they put a rank barrier for like a lot of those units that you haven't hit yet, and I think like, that should be done away with.
I think
they also
I have hit those ranks, and like those monsters are available to me. I just haven't gotten them.
They also messed you up because you just started playing every 6 months. So when the monsters get added to the game, they get put at rank 1. You have to be a minimum of rank 1, which you'd have to be hard pressed to get lower than rank 1 to not have those monsters. And every 6 months, when they put the monsters from those 6 months into the shop, because they're not in the daily sales, 6 months after whatever last group of monsters made it to the shop, those ones get added and then they get dispersed throughout the ranks. So you guys just joined right after they dispersed a ton of monsters out of rank 1. That's, I think, how maybe my account got so far, because I started my fresh account in May, and I got like G54, Gigan 04, Earth, Jet Jaguar, like a ton of them, because really early on, they're readily available.
Yeah.
And to clarify, the shop is free. It's like you have to watch ads to roll the shop, and you can buy it with like the coins that you accumulate. But a 4-star unit is 25,000 coins. So
Right.
if you're a new player, that's kind of hard to accumulate. But at the same time too, if you're a new player and you have 25,000 coins, you roll to the shop, like you could get like a G54 or a Geigen, a Final Wars Geigen. Like those are like good units to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think so for context, like so originally Legendary Godzilla and Legendary Kong were in the game. They're no longer in the game. You will see them permanently as new players as uncollected units, which I think is so
Stupid.
obscene that happens.
And you better get Ultraman and Naranga too, because they're leaving as well. They're
I
not
have
sticking
Naranga,
around
but not
forever.
I got Naranga today, so hey.
You gotta get Ultraman though. Ultraman's actually one of the best units in the game.
He's one that I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so they being the developers, introduced this item at some point called G Material, which like was, I think, kind of like it was meant to hit two problems. It was like if you have Legendary Godzilla and Legendary Kong, you still have a way to update them. It's kind of like a universal updater, but it's only for 4-star units. And I think there should probably be some sort of universal material that you could probably use for at least 3-star units or something like that. Like, I mean, I think like they've kind of booked themselves into a corner. They again being the developers, where it's like these new 4-star units come out. They're like, it's so hard to level them up that it's like they're trying to figure out ways, it feels like all the time, to make brand new 4-star units useful. So it's like when a new unit comes out, like you can rent a high level version for a month. Or like once you unlock it, like you'll get it kind of leveled in comparison to where you're at in the arena rank. So that's all well and good, but after like that month is over, like it's going to revert to like whatever level you have it leveled up to. And I think that's a critical problem. I think that and matchmaking are two of the biggest problems, and those are two critical problems with the game. In my 100%. My opinion. You know, and I think, you know, I'm not saying anything out of turn. Yeah. Now, I do have some celebrity suggestions to improve the game. And by celebrity, I mean a friend of the podcast, super collector, particularly super video game collector, Kiyoe Toshi, also member of Melee's Discord. I reached out to her for her feedback as to as she is another day one Battle Line player. Her suggestions were: Fair Play needs to actually have some meaningful rewards. Totally agree. Fair Play is a great mode that gets no rewards. So Fair Play, if KES and Rob, you haven't dabbled in it, it's whatever units you have, they're all leveled at level 20. And that's
not even balanced
games at Nope, because that
everything
also
set to level 20
how...
is such a bad idea, because the 4-star and the everything else have such vastly different level up percentages per level that at 20 the 4-stars are nigh untouchable, and anything that is not a 4-star below 30 is like just immediately deleted. It is such a bad...
Everything should be everything that's not a 4-star should be level 20, and the 4-star should be like level 8. And that would be like
keep them
perfect.
20. The 3, anything lower needs to be 30 or higher, like 35 or something. Like it makes it like just so you're just dumping out 4-stars the whole time.
I think the 4-stars are still unbalanced at 20. I think they got to be. I think they got to be like 7-8 levels below the other units. But 4-stars need a bump. We all agree on that. Here's the thing we haven't talked about, but Rob, you mentioned you got Destroya and you're seeking Shin Godzilla. The time frame and speed on the Tri-Evolve units needs to be overhauled in a big way. Rob, I don't know if you tried deploying that Destroya yet.
You're not gonna.
But you better pack a lunch for to get to Destroyer's final form, and ultimately, when you get Shin Godzilla as well, you also better pack a lunch for that. Yeah. But we can circle back to the Tri-Evolve units. Less Godzilla pieces, also agreed. I think we kind of said that earlier. And she would also like to see two things that I don't know if I can endorse, but I asked, and if there is enough support there, I will say, we will support it wholeheartedly. If there should be a crossover with the Run Godzilla.
No, I'm
or
sorry.
Godzilla Run, whatever.
I'm out.
Should be a crossover.
Joey,
with Mario.
if that Run Godzilla collaboration happens, I will go all in on that. And also, this suggestion is fantastic because this is a great throwback to the Dreamcast Godzilla Legend games or whatever
Giant
they were,
Serizawa.
the rail-on shooter. Giant Serizawa, I didn't even tell you, but that's what it was. Giant Serizawa should be in the game.
And
I
he should be as big as
1000%
Godzilla.
agree with that.
As big as Godzilla Earth.
He should be as big as Godzilla Earth?
Yes.
I also concur.
I'd pay an unreasonable amount for that.
Here's how you make Giant Serizawa work, right? Same size as the Godzilla Earth sprite, but has 1/3 of the speed, which is already super slow. But if Giant Serizawa can make it to your enemy's side, that's it. He drops the Oxygen Destroyer, just kills everything. It's over.
He's
it's
Exodia.
over.
I'm about
What
that.
about, like,
He's the I don't actually really read this manga or watch this anime, but he's the Rumbling, from what I understand, from Attack on Titan. Giant Serizawa is the Rumbling from Attack on Titan, or what do they call it? The trampling, whatever the fuck.
Excuse you, the Rumbling?
Sure, that. Yes, Giant Serizawa is that. He's the big titans stomping across the earth. That's what he is.
Please go watch Attack on Titan. So good.
I mean,
I think the movies are great.
Yeah, I love the movies, and I'm not joking.
I thought I was going to be the only one who was going to be lost on. It might be only wait, is Melee the only one that watches that?
No, I watched.
I thought I was going to be alone on that statement.
All right, I gotta. Before we continue Godzilla Battleline stuff, you guys love Godzilla. Attack on Titan's kind of like a kaiju / mecha anime. It's just like all organic mecha. It's sick. It's really actually kind of sick.
They are genitalless, organless. They just have giant stomachs where the people they eat are just slowly digested in this weird bubble.
It is a very brutal show. A lot of kaiju love there. You guys, I just trust me. I was not a fan of it for years. I went back. I just watched the entire thing in 10 minutes. Right? It was crazy. That show. Hype, back on track. I'm sorry. You got to go watch it. Check it out.
I've seen one season and the movies. That's it. So I got to go on that.
Well, the internet is filled with weird things, but Kyoe, thank you for those suggestions. You are the video game expert that I realize every time we do a video game episode. I probably should fact check some of my stuff through Kyoe because she always corrects me afterwards. And I very much appreciate that. I'm sorry that we more specifically me, Godzilla 2. Was the worst thing ever, even though you love that game. My apologies, but I am on board with your Godzilla Run collaboration and Giant Serizawa. So, as we kind of head towards the end here, I think it would be kind of good to as we head towards a wrap-up here, I think this is a question that I've been dying to ask all episode. Melee, now that you got Octo, what is your actual opinion on Octo? And I will load that first question with my second question. Do you think they made Octo so shitty to get back at you?
Yes, 100%. Yes, it's not even a question. I know they're talking in their offices going, this motherfucker, we're gonna ruin him so bad. We're gonna make it a 1-star. We're gonna have it be one of the slowest characters, if not the slowest behind Girth. Have it have no range, no attack, no health. It's just and you want to talk about my election thing being rigged? I have the counts tallied up on paper from when the voting stopped. Toho put Godzilla 2000 up 20 votes to get him into the top 5 because they knew that they were going to pull this with Giant Octopus, so they will still be able to sell you 5 legendary monsters and give us Giant Octopus, and it's 100% out of spite, but it doesn't matter because they have to make merchandise out of him because he's in the top 3. So I won.
Gospel. Fucking gospel.
How?
Look at it like this. Giant Octopus is the second most delicious kaiju, and you got him in the game, so congratulations.
Oh, I don't know if you guys are aware, but when you level up monsters in the game, you get, like, titles for Researcher, and if you battle with them enough, you get, like Godzilla Ultima Researcher, or Godzilla Ultima Commander, right? Giant Octopus doesn't have that. You get Chef of Giant Octopus, or, like, Giant Octopus, like, Enjoyer. Like, all the titles are, like, around eating him. It's done on purpose, man. They're doing this on purpose.
He's delicious, though.
If
they need to put Ibra in the game because he's the most delicious kaiju.
We could have a sushi themed deck with all the ocean kaiju get together.
Exactly. My true story, my wedding anniversary was on Monday, and we actually ate octopus at one point during that anniversary, and I didn't even compare it to this video game. Not once. Great restraint on my part of my anniversary. I was thinking it. But, you gotta take a day off sometime.
Yeah.
But, Is there a viable way to use Giant Octopus? I actually think I do have a bit of a way that I found that worked for me when I was trying to complete the Giant Octopus challenges. But I want to hear what you got, Melee.
There are two. There are 2 ways that I have found to make him useful. You could kind of say 3, but I'll give you my 2. 1, on the London map. On London, you have that big stream, the London River, that goes directly up the middle with both leaders are in the water. In the water, Giant Octopus's slow is increased by 1.6%. So you'll get, instead of like your 8%, your 8-second slow, like an 8.5, right? He's so slow. He's 2 costs, though. So are the Kamakuras, which you normally would deploy on defense. If someone drops Kiryu on you, or Mogera, and you put Giant Octopus in the water, you can effectively slow whatever unit is right up on you for the entire duration of their life. Because the slow in the water is so long, and by the time Octopus hits the second attack, that slow will not be over. You will stun them, or you will slow them forever until they die, or until the Octopus dies. Number 2 is you put the Octopus against one of the walls of the map, on the far left or the far right, and then you put, like, Earth right in front of him, like on adjacent, kind of, he's kind of lodged in, and then you use Gigan, and you speed him up the side of the map super fast, and you wedge him between the Earth and the map, the wall.
Oh, I don't even do that. If you just dump the octopus just in the right spot behind Godzilla Earth, it's like he's gonna just like yeah, exactly. It's hilarious. It's fucking great. It slows down.
You can also use Ultraman and Hedorah's flying form to do the same thing and give Ultraman an immediate AoE by pushing Hedorah up in front of him. Which is what I do, and it is very toxic. Literally, both as Hedorah is toxic and horrible strategy.
Well, that's actually a good segue into my last 2 sets of questions here, which are going to be... I'm going to modify them a little bit for the veteran players and for the newer players. So what are your least favorite toxic tactics that you have experienced in the game? We'll start with the new players of KES and Rob.
I don't know, because I haven't really gotten to the point where I'm getting paired with people who are grossly over my abilities.
It must be so nice to be so pure. To be so pure still.
But I can tell you right now, the fucking trains, it's the goddamn trains. I can
using the trains on Mothra when I'm trying to like get Mothra to grow. Like I think that's a little dirty. But other than that, like I really don't have a problem with like how people play the game.
I do.
So young.
Melee, you go first. You go first.
So
I know. I wish I wish I still had that view.
So I don't know if Slick is in the same boat as me, because I'm in a very particular boat in Godzilla Battle Line where I am a public figure.
Well, you also know that
me.
I refuse to use certain units. You also know that I refuse to use certain units. Yes,
but I'm not saying like what you're using. What people use on me on purpose because they know it's me is so annoying all the time. People sweat the fuck out when they see my name pop up. They're like, oh, Melee's here, I gotta really show up. Or they're just toxic. Like, I will get people who the whole match, once they figure out that they can't beat my units in a fight, they will hold me in the middle, just cycle out their units in a holding pattern, so I am, like, having a trouble progress, and then they'll just train me until I die. It is so annoying. It happens all the time. Or, like, someone will be in a push, and it'll be a really close match, and then they'll train me for the win. It's so annoying. It's so bad that it's a meme on my Discord, on Twitter, on Reddit, on Facebook. People are memeing it, like, all these crazy gifs of me, like, complaining about being train bombed. So now it happens regularly that I'm train bombed, and then it's recorded and then uploaded, because it's hilarious, because I will get upset. So I don't like the trains. If you use the trains, I want to have a word with you. I'll meet you at the playground outside. We just settle this like men.
At the playground.
I'm going to put the disclaimer list saying that if you do this, I hate you, but I don't really hate you because it's a lot of people in your Discord that I enjoy their company quite a bit. I enjoy playing against them quite a bit. This is all tongue-in-cheek. But if you were anybody who last season, when you had a level 10 Shin Ultraman and you flew him into a Psychic Chorus, I hate you. If you have Dimension Tide, Psychic Chorus, and the trains in your deck, I hate you. If you used to use Biolante and Batra all the time when Biolante was the meta, I hate you. That covers a lot of ground. I'm just kidding. I don't really hate you, and especially now that Biolante got nerfed, I don't sweat Biolante in the least. Now this is like, I don't care if you're in the Discord or not, this is like legit. If you exploit the Minula Sonde glitch, I hate you.
Toho says
I know you're about to say it's official. But it's bullshit.
What is it?
Let me explain for the wide audience.
Yeah, you explain it.
The way the game is coded, very spaghetti-like is from what it seems. Slow and stun share the same kind of countdown, because a stun is just a slow that slows your attack and your speed. So when you stun a unit and slow them at the same time, 90% of the time, that stun is less time than the slow. But because you did it at the same time, the stun reads the slow's time as the stun's time. So you can effectively freeze units forever. Because every time they get hit with another slow, it will re-up the timer and they'll just stay stunned forever. It works extremely well with Mecha King Ghidorah as a leader because it has an AoE stun. And it works extremely well with Gigan 04 because the window is so minute for 90% of the units and Gigan 04 holds them there for like half a second. You can just permanently stun lock. And this was such a huge discovery and controversy months ago, right? And it was people reporting each other for using it. It was wild. I reached out to Toho with the video and like, you know this, right? Like, this can't be legitimate. Like, what are you going to do about it? And they're like, it's okay. So it's valid play according to Toho. You can't get reported for it, but it's definitely
can't figure out how to fix it.
I was going to say they just don't know how to fix it, in my opinion, as well. And they're just like, you can use it as your discretion.
If you deploy multiple Mogiras at one time, until that one, when Toho comes out and says, or the developers come out and say, that's not a glitch, that's legit, because in the Mysterians there were 2 Mogiras. So
they said that that was a glitch.
Clarify that.
They did. They emailed me saying that the infinite Mogeras is not intended, but they have yet to fix it.
If you do that, I hate you. If do I have anything else I would hate you over? I don't know. If I see Psychic Chorus and Dimension Tide in the same fucking match, I just go, ugh.
If you beat me with the bomber, I hate you, not because you're bad, but because I am bad. Routine meme on my stream is, if you get hit for your final hit in ranked with the bomber, uninstall.
That's my finisher. The Kiryu Zero Beam, and then the bomber. It's my finisher. It's like how I started liking the game.
That, you know what? More power to you.
On the flip side, if you drop a whole bunch of evolution units, particularly Batra, Biolante, and I don't know, Biorodin or whatever, or Rodan, 90s Rodan, all to one side, and I have Godzilla 89 and Anguirus in my deck, and I only use Gigan as my leader, I now know that I'm just going to rush you and beat you, and whenever that happens, I love it. And I have beaten top 10 players in like 15 seconds by doing that, and I'm just, that's fun. That warms the heart. That warms the heart a little bit. So there is like, when you get to a certain level, you're almost like doing like a counting cards type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of counting the energy. Like, oh, I forgot about energy refueling base. Like, depending on when you drop that, like, do what you're gonna do with that. But I kind of go, please. Your energy was spent better elsewhere.
Yeah, oh, you put the energy base. Here's a massive push. Like, what are you doing?
I don't bother with that. Yeah.
So I think to bring this home, I think I will say for Rob and KES, it'll be your favorite units and your least favorite units. But for Melee and myself, it'll be our favorite and least favorite of the last few months of the new units. So, but the new folks.
Rob, I'll toss this over to you first.
Give me a second. You go first.
Okay, sure. So definitely my favorite unit. I haven't unlocked them yet, but Final Wars Gigan. That has been I use that in the Fire Rodan thing that's going on right now. I'm like, oh, that's the best thing that's happened so far.
Fun.
So yeah.
Yep.
Worst unit. I guess like we should probably divide this between like monsters and weaponry. For worst unit,
sure.
Dorats, fuck them. For worst weaponry, I'll probably go with like the gravity beam that kind of like sucks people back a little bit, like
the Dimension Tide. Yeah, the Dimension Tide.
Amazing.
Fuck that thing. It's stupid. It why? No. But fuck the Dorats. Why are the Dorats in the game? Why don't you just give me Ghidorah? You fucking
I was actually kind of excited to get the Dorats at first, and then I played them, and it's like, y'all are fucking ugly.
The Kamakuras are so much better. Yeah.
And your movie sucks. Anyway.
Oh. I also actually kind of agree with that sentiment.
Yeah, fuck that.
Great action scenes, but the rest of the movie.
Ooh. Okay, so favorite and least favorite units, you say?
Yeah.
Okay, well, even though I can't say that. I don't know, Rodan's kind of coming in clutch for me a lot as of recently, and I really don't have all that much right now, so come back to me in 5 months and I'll probably have something more interesting to say, but Rodan, definitely helping it out. I thought ShinRobjira would be a lot better, but he kind of just crawls and dies very quickly.
I thought so as well. I thought he would be a lot better.
I hold out hope that when I ultimately get into like level 30, that like maybe he'll be really good. But
yeah, hopefully
we'll see.
And as for least,
all right. So
least favorite. Shit, who have I yelled at the most? I love that he's here, but goddamn, giant octopus. He just crawling, and he died.
I love it.
He crawling, he
doesn't
died.
Even have a name. He's just giant octopus.
Giant octopus.
I'm right here.
Giant octopus, mechanically, definitely probably my least favorite, but I love him anyway. And
Giant
Toho, I know you have this bug.
Awesome.
You make that vinyl figure, I'll buy 5. Don't test me. I will.
I'm with him. I'll buy 6.
He'll buy 6. He'll show me up. I got my boy out in Japan. He'll send me another 35. It's happened before. We'll do it again.
Keeping it Melee will end with you, but for me, of the last few months, what's my favorite and least favorite? I mean, I think it's no contest that Shin Ultraman is probably tops when it comes to the last several months. I mean, I found the Shin Ultraman season to be extremely frustrating to play, especially like in top levels. But now that like that's kind of balanced out, I still go. I mean, Super X is like he has surpassed Super X as like that, extremely powerful long range unit. And the worst unit of the last few months, I'm gonna say, and I'm not saying this because you're here. Like, it's not Giant Octopus. Destroya is the worst unit of the last several months. It's not even close. I find a functional way to use Giant Octopus with Godzilla Earth, as we were talking about. I find no functional way to use Destroya.
Which is weird because
having
I like the larva.
To go through the Destroya larva are a great unit, but Destroya, it's like it's got to go through the crab evolution, the flying evolution, and by the time in the flying evolution isn't even anywhere close to being complete if it went uninterrupted to your opponent's leader unit. Like, that's got to be faster. And then Destroya as a final unit is I don't know, fine, but we get a bunch of other units that are kind of similar, and and then when he dies and he breaks into a bunch of lava, it'd be totally different if
it was
if
your
he went
larva.
to your Destroyer lava. Yeah, right. So he's just not a good unit. Him and Shin Godzilla, that tri-evolve thing's gotta get gotta get refined. Yeah, they need it's gotta go. No more tri-evolve units.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'll die on the hill. There should be no evolution units. Every unit should be its own thing. The evolutions are ridiculous. It takes way too long for some of the characters, and the first half of every battle is evolving. If every unit was just their own thing, you would have way more units to play, way more unit diversity, and a lot more different strategies. If I had now 4 different kinds of destroyers I could use all at the same time, instead of just one that is 3 of them in one, and not any of the 3 are particularly good at one thing or another.
You could make
so
Shin Godzilla Kamada-kun a 2, and then the second form a 3, and then the final form a 4 fig. Yeah, I think I agree with you on that.
So would you debuff then? I think of someone like Batra, I think would be probably really overpowered without the evolution aspect. And Shin Godzilla,
there would have to be some major rebalancing going on.
Yeah, Godzilla Ultima would totally be overpowered without the evolution. Yeah, so Godzilla Ultima would just be dominating
everything.
Everyone would be running Godzilla Ultima at that point. So I'm okay with the evolutions. They're gonna be a little bit faster. So I like the evolution on death element they introduced with Rodan and King Ghidorah. I like that. I think we need a little bit more of that. I don't know if I'm with you on that one. But all right, what are your favorites and least favorites of the last couple months?
All right. So my least favorite in the last couple months is not Destroya or Shin Godzilla. I think both are okay, and if you can get them to their final forms, they do things okay. Not particularly well, but they do things just okay, which is fine if you can get them there. I do think at levels 10 or higher, or maybe 15, Destroya's final form is actually really solid, and the larva that it drops is also very good. If you can get him there, and that's very difficult at the moment, so I'm not even going to talk about that. Same with Shin. He has a really great AoE when he hits air units, but when he fights anything that's touching the floor, he absolutely falls flat. So I would say my 2 biggest disappointments of the last few months is Shin and Destroya, no contest. They have good concepts there, good bones of a unit, but no substance on the battlefield. The unit that I think is legitimately the worst in the last few months is Jet Jaguar 1973. Jet Jaguar is the only character that gets worse when it evolves. If we're gonna
go that far back, no, I wasn't going that far back. I was kind of thinking shit.
That far back?
No, absolutely.
Is April.
Jet Jaguar. Yeah,
which is weird because the singular point Jet Jaguar 73.
Awesome. Singular point Jet Jaguar is great. Jet Jaguar 73, I think, is tied with kids for like the worst unit in the game.
Yes,
those two are
Jet
the
Jaguar
two worst
73
useless.
Has a great damage buff when it's a pre-evolution. 25, or I think it's like 25 or 30% damage increase. He counts as a physical object in the field, so you can push him with units like Godzilla Earth, which is kind of a crazy thing to have him buffed at 30% damage. And you can do some really great maneuvers with him. When he evolves and does not get the buff and has a close range attack, he becomes so hard to use, and he's just not practical at all in any capacity. Very bad unit. Now, that being said, if you have him at like level 20 or 25, when he's just doing an absurd amount of damage on his karate chop, it's great, right? He's just knocking people back, hitting them around. It's fun, but it's so hard to get the pieces for units, and if you're going to use your G materials to level up a 4-star, there are better investments in the short term that's going to help your account way more than Jet Jaguar. Now, for best units in the game, Giant Octopus. No, I'm kidding. I will say everyone dunks on Giant Octopus because he's bad in the meta in like arena, but listen, man, I'll get you in a little secret. That's not what you gotta be. You gotta crank him up in the studio mode. He has one of the highest bonuses in studio mode for star point earns after a showdown, which will get your studio monsters leveled up faster. Right now. He gets at level 29 in the studio a 30%, like it's like 24, like 30% boost to all the earnings from showdown mode in terms of star points, which is going to get you skins for your characters faster, which is going to get you more damage for your characters faster and everything. So I use him constantly only in studio mode, cranking out constantly rewards with him. So he's really good for that. He's really not great in the arena. But
we didn't even really talk about studio mode. Like the skins in studio mode are so good. That burning Godzilla Earth skin is fucking fantastic.
They gave Giant Octopus 2 skins, baby.
That's absurd. But yes,
freezing sun.
But so who's your worst?
Oh, the worst is definitely Jet Jaguar 73 for sure. I think.
Okay, I'm sorry. Who was your best? Sorry. Who was your best? Who was your best?
The best unit in the last few months, I would dare say the best unit since Kiryu or Godzilla Earth got added, is no contest Ultraman. He is so absurdly overpowered. It makes no sense. We don't get very many units in this game that are usable right off the get-go, especially 4-star units. Ultraman is absurd. He knocks back opponents if he lands on them. He flies and can go ground, which lets him avoid targets and get across the map faster. He's immune to stun, and he has range comparable to Manila, which pierces like Desghidorah. He has Desghidorah's kit, Earth's kit, Manila's kit, and Rodan's kit. All in one.
Jesus Christ.
Is stupid, and he's 5 cost, so he gets buffed by Godzilla 89, Kong. He's long range, he gets Biolante's buff. He's on the ground sometimes, he gets Gigan's buff. He's pretty much touched by every buff in the game that the leaders can give. He can hit every kind of unit in the game. He's fast. The worst thing about him is that when you deploy him, he does an animation. But if he lands on a unit, he knocks characters away. It's so unreasonably powerful. Even at level 5. It's crazy. And when he was rented last month at 10... it was insane. It was so, and then Dimension Tide came back in and got a buff.
That was the worst month of the game.
So toxic.
The Shin Ultraman month was the worst. It was the worst. I was losing my mind.
Use Dimension Tide, grab all of the units, put them in one spot, and then let Ultraman just go to town. It was just like, I always say this, and I say it in the Discord all the time. I literally said it today when I was talking on Discord. All the units in the game might seem bad until they get one other unit that they pair really well with. And Ultraman is really good on his own, but with Dimension Tide, you have just created a monster because you can pull anything from anywhere and he'll kill him. It is so stupid. So immediately upon the season of Ultraman ending, I put in 7 G materials into him. So now mine is level 8 or 9, and he is just rinsing like rinsing people like all in the arena. Like, it is absurd. But you'll see Ultraman a lot in the next 2 months when people start leveling him up and getting him more from boxes. I promise you.
Yeah, Dimension Tide is on my refuse to use list because I'm a man of principle. But Ultraman,
a better man
Space
than
Godzilla, Space Godzilla, Ultraman, and Godzilla Earth are the core of my backup deck that I use after I have like kind of done everything I need to do that season. Mm-hmm. And it's like the three of them moving together in concordance is just it's gross. It's gross.
Mm-hmm. And it gives me very high hopes that if they buff... I didn't mean to cut you off, but if they made Ultraman as beefy as he is for the collaboration with Shin Ultraman and the Shin Japanese Hero Universe collaboration, if/when they put the EVA units in this game, they should be bonkers. Same with Kamen Rider. They deserve it. If they're gonna make Shin Godzilla not great, and then the third party characters like absurdly like powerful, I mean, come on. Come on. They're leaving money on the table. They're not making even Unit 1 like absurdly strong.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just made Giant
so
Octopus
to bring us home,
up to 7 on my showdown and just made him my star. So that was on your recommendation.
There you go.
So, Rob, do you think now that your obligation to this podcast is over, will you continue playing Battleline?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
So,
whenever I'm not playing Cult of the Lamb, I'll be playing this.
Kes, now that this podcast is over, will you continue playing Battleline?
Yeah. It's good enough. I look at it as like a mini game to like a real game, but it's got its merits. It has its good things and its bad things, but overall I think it's enjoyable. Rob hit the nail on the head with the RNG kind of stinking. I just got missiles and freeze node updates again, so I don't care. I've been playing it while you guys have been talking. So, yeah, I'm going to keep playing it. And I probably won't be like as obsessed with it with like Elden Ring. Like, I still haven't beaten it, and I've played it for like 120 hours. Like, I'm just finding everything in the game. So I won't go that like obsessive, but like it's fun. Like, I enjoy when I lose a close match, I don't mind. I will say great battle. I'll stick a great battle to the person who beat me. And like, that's fun to me. Like when I win a close match, that's fun. It's not so fun when I get demolished or I demolish other people. I try not to like, some people have sent like Annihilation to me with the Gigan sticker, and I'm like, oh, fuck you, you piece of shit.
Oh, yes.
Congratulations.
Oh, yes.
You want a phone
That's
game.
no good. The stickers used to be a lot more toxic, and they like kind of
Bro, the Gigan one used to say, damn it. And they changed it to, oh no. And the Kamakurus one said, too easy.
It was too easy? Oh, that was the worst.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Melee, now that your obligations to this podcast have you peaked? Are you done? Are you deleting this game tonight, and are you done?
Yeah, I think now I'm going to hang it up. I'm going to uninstall the game. I'm not going to save any of my information so I don't get my account back or the hundreds of dollars that I spent on it. I think I'm going to just hang it up and go play Elden Ring with Cass and call it a day.
I think that's a great plan.
Yeah.
We could be mindless together.
I am going to continue playing because I played Fire Emblem Heroes every single day straight for 5 years straight. And then this game took the place of Fire Emblem Heroes. And, there is a little bit of a gambling aspect with the expeditions and whatnot. And as Kes knows, I have quite the great relationship with anything gambling related. So I think I will probably be on a path where I'm continuing for another 4.5 years at least.
You're not a bad gambler, though. I think you get
just
excited about gambling, but you're not a bad gambler.
I sure do. Yes. I don't really, I don't really spend a whole lot of money on gambling, but it's fun though. You got to have a little excitement. I need skin in the game. It's great.
Excitement.
Anyway, so I got 5 fantasy football drafts to prepare for. Just kidding. But so
I have 3.
This was this was a hoot, gang. Any closing comments about Battleline before we all say goodbye?
I had a lot of fun, and next time that we rig an election, I hope that I come back and talk about that one too.
Massive dumps.
I'm sweating a lot more now. It was great to have the first virtual in-person meeting of two YouTubers. That was fantastic.
Of course.
Bringing communities together through an audio, bringing two visual content creators together through an audio podcast. That is, boy, is that synergy right there.
Excuse me.
Well, Cass, is there anything you would like to leave us with?
Yeah, I'd like to thank SirMelee and ShinRobjira for joining us today, taking time away from their loved ones and their obligations to shoot the shit about a mobile game with us. That was really cool, you guys. I don't hate you guys for introducing me to this game. I was exaggerating my hatred for the game. I think it's pretty fun, so I'll keep going. Thanks for introducing me to it, officially. I did download it months and months and months ago, but never really gave it a shot. But yeah, it's pretty fun. So good on you guys. I might get season pass now that I wanted to do free to play for the podcast just to see what it was like. But now that it's done, maybe I'll get season pass and try to open up my
baby,
repertoire.
Spend that money, open that wallet.
Yeah, it's $5.50. It's not a terrible cost. So
no, not at all.
I just wanted to do free to play for this podcast.
I'm not going to rant about it, but for $5, that Battle Pass is an insane deal and is by far the best Battle Pass out of any game I play, and I play a lot of games.
That's what I've gotten out of it, too. I could see, all the benefits of it, so, I'll give it a shot.
Certainly better than Halos.
Please stop. We'll be here for hours.
Double kill.
Well, in the immortal words of Godzilla 2000... You stink. Know your breath. Goodbye.
So,
good night.
Next episode will be the Super Nintendo Godzilla games. Again.